Philip the Titan here from the grandstands here in the beautiful Southern California on Halloween. Thank you guys. Happy Halloween to all my United States peeps and also to the rest of the world who also likes to celebrate our fun little holiday. Funny thing is, it's actually my sister's birthday. She was born on Halloween. And she's the same sister who sprayed 409 in my eye. Yes, I have a sister who's pretty psychotic, but I love her to death, and we're one of the best friends in today's world. But that's not why we're here. Let's get into it. We're here because today they went live to talk about F1 2021 and the new car, the financial, the sporting, and the technical changes coming to F1. So I wanted to go ahead. We're going to be watching the YouTube while we go ahead and kind of discuss what's really going on. They were live earlier. We have the president of the FIA, Jean-Claude, and he is in Paris. They have him on a live stream coming in, like a Discord. And it's really cool because we're seeing a change now, guys. We're seeing a change in F1. So here's my reaction to all their changes. And if you already watched, like I'm pretty sure you did, because there was over 50-some thousand people watching, get in the chat and let's discuss it. I am all happy for the changes. The changes are great for the sport, and I think they're going to bring the closest racing we've ever seen in motorsports. Being a United States fan of F1, it's really hard because you have people who really don't really care about us American fans. But it seems like Liberty Media took a step approach towards the American fans and the global fans to bring us together so that we can have one standardized F1 that is ultra exciting. So let's get into it. So the new sets of regulations, which should bring the tightest racing, but I want to jump into this. So basically, what Jean is saying, the president of the FIA, is that the rules are going to be set for 2021, but should carry on far past 2021. So these rules should be the beginning of a brand new development towards newer and better rules. These rules alone are already better, I feel, but not everyone's going to agree with me on that, and that's fine. I don't think that you should have to agree with me, but that's the whole point of this. This is kind of a debate. I'd really like to go over that with you guys. But the 2021 car, you guys can't deny that it is just a beautiful, beautiful car. The car itself, look at the body, look at the tires, look at the rims. All of it is just incredible. I'm blown away by the actual structure of the entire car. The front ring is ginormous. It's not all technical like past wings are. I really like that. I like the 18-inch wheels. I like they brought the hubcaps back for the wheels. I think that's very exciting and cool. That's going to cut down on the airflow dramatically. I am a big fan of doing that to the rims. You don't need rims. You don't need them at all. They're just for what? A look? Looks are not enough. We got our first comment coming in from Game. 21 car kind of looks like a futuristic 1980 car. Doesn't it? It really does, Game. I'm really blown away by the futuristicness of the car. So you know how when we see a concept car and you don't get the concept car? I feel like we got the concept car. So that's the exciting part for me, definitely. I think that's very exciting to see. I like the idea of the loss of downforce that is caused by the dirty air from the current aero package. In the 21 car, we're going to see about a 10% drop in that. And they're saying that's supposed to really bring the cars much closer together. And I'm very excited to see if that's really true. Is the dirty air really that big of a problem? I'm not in the car. I'm not an engineer. I really don't know. So for me, seeing it in person and seeing it live is going to determine me. I'm going to need to see it in person. And once I see it in person and I see that it's legit, then we will go ahead and, that's what it is. But get in the comments. What do you guys think? What did you guys think of today's press conference with the president of Liberty Media? We had Bronze. What did you guys think? What was your guys' thoughts as they announced everything to us? So I want to jump over to Liberty Media because with these changes, this is the greatest sport on the planet, guys. There is no better sport. What do you think of the involvement of new driver to test in practice sessions being a must for 2021? As long as they completed some Grand Prix, yes, they should be involved. How do you feel? Because I think it's very important that we continuously push new drivers into the ring. Look at Hulkenberg. He outstayed his time in Formula One. He should have went on to FIA World Endurance Series where he actually won a Le Mans trophy. But he did. He stayed in Formula One, came back and actually lost that race really badly. I think he crashed out. Drivers need to know when to leave. And I feel like they do not know how to do it right now. I only don't like the new practice sessions. I do like that press conference will be on Fridays. Thursdays was kind of weird. It was like Thursday, all this crap is happening, but then nothing after. I think in sports, you get press conference right before the sport. So I think it's important that we do that. We get a press conference right after, post-press conference right after a race. So why shouldn't everything be closer together? And that was my opinion on that. But Bronze, I like his thoughts on this whole thing. Bringing that cost gap down to a lock, being a cap, it's important because Mercedes was spending every cent they had to make sure they had the best car. And they ruined F1 for 6 years. That's just my opinion. Everyone would disagree with me. I'm a Mercedes fan, but the truth is that they still were outspending everybody on the grid, which affected everybody on the grid. We didn't see good racing. We didn't see competitive racing. We saw junk racing. That's what we saw, and it was very unfortunate. So for me, I like the cost gap. So, see, I like what Braun's saying right now. The justification for spending, because the rewards are so big, that they're going to put the cap there because a non-cost gap ruined racing, guys. It actually ruined racing. It wasn't exciting no more. It was over. If you guys are interested in getting on the podcast right now, let me know. I am on Discord. I will be on Discord taking any questions you guys have. Let me know if you guys want to get on here. I'll put the Discord link down in the chat and come join us. Let me get you guys on here real quick. I want to have you guys on here. Let me paste this. The sporting regulations, those are the most important, I think, besides the cost gap. So let's see what he has to say. Same power unit. How do you think it will affect new teams coming in? The current teams that already had really shitty power units are going to suffer the most. But I think the overall packaging of the power unit around it is what's going to be the most successful for all teams. So the power unit is fine. The same engine, that's what they said. That's fine. I agree with that. But yeah, guys, they need to get it together when it comes to the whole package. Here, I'm going to just generate a new link for you guys. All right, here, guys, here's the Discord. Get on the Discord and we could talk about it live. I would love to have you guys on. This is not a podcast. This is more a discussion on what's coming for the future of our beloved sport. But these new aerodynamic regulations, you won't see the fastest and the slowest car having such a big gap anymore. It's going to be so much closer that if, let's say, a slower car has the ability to pass, he's going to. So with the front wing being worked out, the bottom. So what did you guys think of the long diffuser? Starting from the front, finishing to all the way in the back. That diffuser is really going to bring some awesome airflow for the cars. Are the cars more likely to have damage or less likely? Less likely. So the goal for these cars was to have less damage, because what was happening is they touch the grass and all of a sudden a wing goes flying. So the goal was to make sure that did not happen. They were done. The cars were too fragile, and they wanted to make a car that was more standardized and could take a little more of a beating. So for 21, 24, the loss of downforce when a car would get behind a car was so drastic. That's why the cars would pull. Even in DRS zones, we saw that with Ferrari in Mexico. Ferrari continuously pulled. They were so aggressive, guys. But yeah, I don't think we're going to see that no more. I think we're in a new era now. So where are we at? So the new front wings are also really helping cut down on that bad drag. Okay, I like that. So I think we're going to see some of the best racing in 2021. I think you guys are going to be very happy with it. People who only want to see a Mercedes car win, I would stop watching F1. Their demise has already begun, but now with a standardized package, they're not going to be able to compete. We're going to see Lewis Hamilton not be the best driver. You're going to see a lot of young guys be competitive. You're going to see Daniel Ricciardo up there. You're going to see probably George Russell. You know, he's not a bad driver. He's very competitive. He's just in a really, really, really bad car. But currently, we're non-computer based, and their goal is to be 100% computer based going into 2021. So these cars are going to be the future, and not just the future, like because they're in the future. Like these are futuristic cars that will be around a very long time. The Halo blends better with the 2021 car than the 2019 car. I completely agree. Well, you got to remember, the 2021 car is brand new design, so they definitely wanted to incorporate it because it's a forever thing. 21 top 5 drivers. I'm definitely going to go ahead and go with Leclerc, Hamilton, Max Verstappen, Daniel Ricciardo, and Albon. I leave Vettel out because Vettel could easily retire. Vettel may retire. I don't think he's going to stay around for these cars. But if he does stay around for these cars, guys, that's awesome. I'm all for it. I like Vettel a lot. He's one of my favorite drivers to watch. All right, guys, get in the comments. What's up? Okay, so cars will look different, but it's still going to be the same. Noel, how are you? Signs? Signs will be in the top 6. So if there was a 6 top, he would be 6. He's a fantastic driver. He's been challenging Hamilton to the first turn every race. He has the ability to be a top 3 driver, but he's going to have to be in the right package. So with Mercedes going over to the 2021 Mercedes motor, I think it's going to be exciting. But the visual different nations of the 21 cars are pretty interesting. They could look pretty different. They have two options basically. Three options. So cars have a lot. They're not stuck to one thing. Awesome Duck, you got into racing. Guys, welcome Awesome Duck. Go subscribe to his channel. I am happy you got into racing. That is exciting. You need to be in racing. We love racing here. Love to see this car in Monaco. Yes, I'm looking forward to seeing this in Monaco. I might fly to Monaco from the grandstands for the show just to cover the new car, because that's like, I was there when the car first did it, you know? So I might do that, guys. If you guys want to go to Monaco with me, let me know. We'll all fly and meet there. The 21 car looks lit. Yes, it looks amazing, guys. I mean, I can't believe how good it looks. I can't wait to play it in F1 2021's video game. I'm like really excited. What teams do you think will be the best in 2021? With the new regulations, I think we're going to see a possibility of Williams come back to top 5. You're going to have McLaren. You're going to have Red Bull, Ferrari, Mercedes. Those will be your top teams for sure. Renault, they're not even sure that they're going to stay in 2020. Like there's no guarantee. They already kind of made it clear that it's up in the air. Like no decision's been made. So that really affects them big time. So we'll see what happens for them. I'm not too sure what's going to happen, but yeah. What do you guys think? Let me put it down in the comments. I want to hear. Paste. No, that's Discord. All right, guys. Hit like and subscribe to the channel. Support us so we can continue doing this because we love doing this. Okay, so there'll be some non-exclusivity clauses. So they can't go to a supplier that's exclusive to the team. Their idea is to reduce the cost. That is their main goal, and I don't blame them. We need to reduce the cost. The cost is what's killing the sport right now. I hope Haas goes up with the maximum speed is added. Haas will be in the top 7 for sure. They have a good package now. Their drivers are getting better, and they're more familiar with the team, so I see good things for them. But yeah, I see just amazing things happening right now. Fuel. No! Hold on, guys. Got to get this back on. This just crashed. But they were talking about the fuel and how they want to structure it. So let's get back to it. F1. The press conference is going. But we're not focusing on the press conference right this second. We'll focus on the press conference after this. Let's get back to what we were discussing, which is the announcement for everything happening. But fuel, that's going to be the big thing, guys. With the V6 motors, we see that they can go a long time. So they don't need to make those big adjustments. But the key objective is for the environment. They want to take F1 into the future. F1's already been leading the future. And I think that's important. Leclerc for 21 title? Yeah, for sure. He'll win in the new car. Guarantee it. So yes, their goal is to work with fuel companies and the power unit manufacturers to minimize the loss of fuel while still gaining a lot of speed. So that's exciting news right there. I'm excited about that. All right, guys, thank you for hitting like. I appreciate it. Keep supporting the channel if you guys can. I really love it. They want to start policing of that power unit. So there'll only be certain components in the power unit that's standard across all teams. So Mercedes putting little trinkets in their motor to make it the fastest. Won't happen no more. That's over with. They're done. Who do you personally think is better, Leclerc or Verstappen? Honestly, it's almost a tie. Leclerc's in a better car. If that gives you my answer. Leclerc makes less mistakes. He makes less mistakes. So Leclerc could easily be the better driver, but who's funner to watch? Verstappen. I mean, he's just so aggressive. I love it. No. Do you personally think is better Leclerc or Verstappen? I hope so. So no team will carry an advantage or disadvantage. The goal is to make it standardized. The suspension, lots of changes. We have simplification of suspension, ban of hydraulic suspension, simpler inboard. Hold on, I want to read this. Simpler inboard system, spring dampers, and banning of interiors. Kinenemic, I can't even say it. It's like an anemone. My tongue just doesn't roll that way. Restrictions to resolve poorly regulated area outside of the wheel. Interesting, so to protect it. Separation of suspension structures and their fairing. Larger wheels, which is the 18. Larger wheels is really going to that acts as a suspension, so that's good too. With standard supply, so larger wheels with a standard supply, so all across the board, everyone will get the same rim, same wheel. No one will have a better wheel. Retaining of tire blankets at least for 2021 and 2022, but lower costs. That's good. Thank you. That's what we wanted to hear. Prescribed design hubs, nuts, and wheel retention. So it's all standardized. No one's going to have a higher or better version. So that's already cool right there, guys. So no more complicated systems. Who do you think Hulkenberg will go after F1? Hulkenberg's done. No one's going to pick him up. He outstayed F1. He never really won. He needed to go. We need room for young kids. These kids are good, and I want to see them race. It's hard to let go of the people in your generation, but just like past generations had to let go of their heroes, we got to let go. And we got to open our hearts and minds and ideas to new drivers. So they're going to retain the tire blankets for a while, but eventually they'll probably ditch them. They need to ditch them. They need to learn to get their tires up to temperature, which would bring more competitive driving. Because Lewis Hamilton, who's always on the perfect temperature, he's gonna have to work for it. Standard brakes all around up until 2023. And they needed to be conservative on the brake pads. They're limited to how many times they could pit. So for chassis and homologation, larger internal cockpit dimensions to not penalize tall drivers. Interesting. Increased side beam dimensions for side impact safety. Stop teams from seeking an unfair advantage. Flexi floors. So the floor that flexes. Oh, I know. A combination of Article 16, 17, 18 into a single article for the homologation for Article 13. And now let's find out what that is. Yes, I want to see him in 2020. I want to see him in the Williams because he was driving really good in the Williams. Which teams do you think will suffer the most of the new rules in car? I think we're going to see Renault suffer because they already have a bad power unit. I think we're going to see Racing Point. Racing Point is going to suffer. Who else will suffer? Haas will suffer. Haas is already showing that they don't have it for F1. I think they'll suffer the most. Renault's already making it clear that we could leave. So they're smart. They're like, maybe we shouldn't stay. I think he will go to Williams if he does. Yes, I hope so. So yes, the goal is, so when it comes to bring back to the question that you guys asked, are the cars more durable? Yes, safety improvements were majorly a factor. So better debris contaminant in the event of an accident. So they don't want the whole thing exploding. And then we have a yellow that takes forever and a lot of cleaning. So their goal was to eliminate that and make it to where they can simply, the carbon fiber doesn't explode, but maybe cracks and doesn't work functionally anymore, and you got to replace it. But the explosions of carbon fiber Those days are coming to an end. We're in a new era of carbon fiber, and carbon fiber doesn't have to explode. So, research to contain debris by adding a rubber membrane within some components. Interesting. Probably the bumpers. The bumper for sure. The front wing has probably rubber in it. Work to prevent whole front wing detaching from the car, tethering some of rear components, increased frontal energy absorption, larger nose. So the nose being so large, it's because it wants to absorb as much energy as it can. That was smart. Those little ones, I didn't like ever. I never liked them. I'd always thought they were lame. It was an F1. Increased side chassis strength with new, more comprehensive side impact structures. So kind of like how Herbert died when he went sideways and he went in. You're probably still going to die at that speed, but the goal is to improve it so much that eventually you probably could get hit there in the future and survive. So let's continue on. Improved headrest and its attachments to the chassis. So for their what do you call it? Their Haas device, that will be more secured. Consequential increase of wheel tethers due to larger wheel mass. Interesting. I like that. Haas did better without sponsorship, which is odd. Well, you got to remember, when sponsors get involved, you got to kind of do what they want. The tethering of parts. Interesting. I like it. Yeah, the goal, you got to remember, the spectators. Can you imagine a wing flying into the spectator crowd and killing somebody or killing a couple people? Like, that could hurt F1. Like, F1's the pinnacle sport. We need to make sure that we're taking all the precautions we humanly can. I am 100% okay with all the rules and regulations from these guys. These guys were right to make all these calls. So, components classification. The introduction of 5 categories of components classification for cost reasons. Listed team components, LTC, components made by each team. Standard supply components, SSC, single supplier via tender process. So no more seeking all these suppliers to make the best stuff. It is limited to one, and I like it. Prescribed design components, the PDC. Prescribed design, free supply. Ooh, very nice. Transferable components. This is cool. The TRC, components that may be transferred from one team to another. Why? There's a reason I like that, because that could help another team who maybe is down or has no more. And it just it keeps all teams running. I like that a lot. Open source components, OSC, components where designs are openly available to competitors. I like that too, because now it's a standard design. So teams are spending way less money, guys. It's they're no longer seeking the highest end part. You know what I mean? Like, we're gonna see less testing and more racing. I hate that we have the test in Barcelona. That could be a race. Why the F are we wasting our time? We should have pre-races, like pre-games, like and football does. They have pre-games before the actual season starts, and that's what we should be doing. Detailed table of classification of components in Article 17. The regulations governing these components work closely with financial regulations. Yeah, so their goal is to eliminate teams spending way too much, and I agree. So there's serious consequences if any team breach these regulations. There will be major consequences. So marketing is unlimited. They could do whatever they want. Driver spending, they could spend whatever they want. So Lewis Hamilton could get his 40 million. The cost gap will work though. I like this. No car is going to be better than the other no more. It's going to come down to drivers. Wonderful. So they have a lot of people from other sports who regulate other sports come in to help regulate this sport. This is the biggest sport on the planet. It not being regulated was the dumbest thing I've ever seen. Ooh, they have to submit their figures in 2020. So that's good to know. Implementation of timeline is planned as follow. Until December 2019, finalization of the F1 financial regulation framework, guidance, implementation procedures, templates. June 30th, 2020, options to submit 2019 financial data on a voluntarily basis, even not specifically provided for or by the FIA financial regulations, voluntary dry run. Okay, so it's going to be mandatory, but they're seeing who's going to be open right now. And that's going to hurt teams. Application of any financial or sporting penalties, soft implementations as provided by FIA F1 financial regulations. March 31st, 2022, mandatory submission, see, financial data with application. So it's going to get real tough on teams. Teams that want to be sneaky and hide information, they're going to get penalized bad. There's consequences already in place for that. So they think it's pretty thought through. They think it's a turning point in F1. I do too. I think the biggest problem is kids have an opinion on F1 and they don't know it. F1's been around a very long time before even their dad was born. F1's been around long enough to where things aren't the way they appear. We need to control the behavior of these people. Okay. I'm waiting to hear. All right, let's move on. I want to hear. Let's end it with hearing Liberty Media. So we're gonna listen to Liberty Media's president, and we'll conclude it here. But I think it's very exciting. Quality is more important than quantity from the Liberty Media's president. They want to respect new markets and historic markets. They want to pay respect to all the markets and to their supporters. Liberty Media is very smart. They've been very kind because they could have just tore the sport apart. So yes, the growing in new markets is important, and I think so too, because you have to continuously find new opportunities for money. That's what this is all about. And yes, it's about the fans and all this stuff, but the reality is none of it happens if there's no money coming in, and we need it. So very cool, guys. That's pretty much, those are the rules, the technological the car, the sporting rules. And in the end, I think it's going to be a good thing for the sport overall. I'm very excited to see how this plays out in 2021 and 2022. I'm personally looking forward to driving these things in the game. It's going to be a lot of fun. But let me know down in the comments, guys. What do you guys think? What do you guys think of the new car? I'm a big fan of the front wing, the 18-inch wheels, the overall design. Not so much the back wing. It's very standardized, and you can tell. Not a fan of the back wing, but overall package of the car, though, looks sexy as F. I mean, I'm into it. I definitely want to drive it, and I'm sure I would drive it pretty damn good. Yeah, but that's what it is. I look forward to seeing this car, as a real thing on a real track, putting in real lap times, and just seeing how much better it is, because they already said it's not going to be faster. They kind of made that clear. So it's going to be more just a standard car, and speed won't be the biggest thing for it. So we'll see what happens, guys. I look forward to seeing your guys' opinions in the comments. Get in the comments. Let me know. I'm pretty sure you didn't watch this from beginning to end, because you guys probably never do. But if you guys did, get in the comments. Let me know. What was your opinion? How did you feel about it, what they were announcing today? And are you all for it? But I look forward to hearing from you guys. Thank you so much. I'll see you guys for the live from the grandstands for the USGP, which press conference is going down right now. So definitely check it out if you can. But I will catch you guys all later. Stay out of trouble meanwhile. And I look forward for this amazing weekend of racing here in the United States. From the grandstands, Philip the Titan here in Southern California. Have fun, guys. That's the 2021 car for you, and the rules and technological changes and sporting regulations. Remember, don't spend more than your